Heart Medicine Devotion, Who Am I? Exodus 3:11, And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? Exodus 3:14, And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. Scripture reading, Exodus 3. God has never been big on comfort zones. Maybe it's because the God of the universe doesn't need a comfort zone. Being all-knowing, all-powerful, ever-present, sovereign, perfect, and holy, God doesn't have to concern himself with things like failure, frailty, and fear. But the point that we often miss is this. If you are a child of the King and God gives you an assignment, then you don't have to concern yourself with those things either. Moses learned this lesson in Exodus 3. At this point, the man who would lead Israel for the next 40 years or so was a murderer and a fugitive who was keeping a low profile as a nomadic shepherd. And with a great father-in-law, wife, and children, and a new profession, this fugitive had actually found a comfort zone. But outside of that zone, Moses was basically a man without a country who had lost all ties with both the family he was born into and the family that had adopted him. To top it all off, Moses was not an eloquent man. He had a major confidence problem due to an actual speech impediment, and God wanted him to leave his comfort zone, waltz into Pharaoh's court, and tell him to voluntarily give up his entire workforce of Israelite slaves. In Exodus 3:11, Moses asks the question, Who am I? Knowing exactly who he is and how grossly unqualified he is for the task at hand. But the reality is, Moses' qualifications, or the lack thereof, are irrelevant. When God gives assignments, they're based on who he is, and he is that I am. I've heard it said that a victorious Christian life depends on two things. Number one, believing that God is who he says he is, and number two, believing that God will do what he has promised to do. Hebrews 11:6 certainly confirms this. While you and I can do nothing without God, we can do absolutely anything with him. Moses' life would prove this, as God would use him to launch the 10 plagues, part the Red Sea, and so on and so on. In the end, Moses was a testimony, not to the power of Moses, but to the power of the one true God. Now, take whatever assignment God is trying to give you, and I'm guessing there's something. If you know and love the Lord, at some point he will send you an assignment one way or another, and it will seem out of reach, mainly because it's out of your comfort zone. It may be an assignment at your church or in a ministry, but it may even be something less obvious that will grow you in some way in your home, your job, or your family. It may be talking to someone in particular about the Lord. Take that assignment, no matter how crazy it seems, and then take your qualifications and throw them out the window. They don't matter. All that matters is pleasing God with your faith and faithfulness. And I am will take care of the rest. I hate to break it to you, but to decline that assignment is to deny God, his power, his perfect plan, and his faithfulness to you. And my own experiences have taught me this. When you insist on hunkering down in your comfort zone, God will inevitably make that zone a lot less comfortable in order to push you to the place where he wants you to be. My friend, I don't know who you are, but I know who God is, and I know that his promises are true, and your assignment, should you choose to accept it, will give you a greater understanding of the great I am. It's amazing what he can do with fugitives, failures, and fraidy cats like you and me. Your prescription? Take God at his word. Follow through on the impossible mission that he's laying on your heart, and let him show you who he is. If you don't know what your assignment is, ask him for one. He never fails to use a willing servant. God bless you.